makes per game from the three-point line. 12 threes in that first half. And Mully and Darrell, as we welcome everybody to Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box, a 14-0 run to start the game, a 21-6 run in the second quarter, and then they end the half on an 8-0 run. Just ugly all around for the Golden State Warriors.
Definitely. We talked a lot about the energy, how they start the game, and, to dig a hole 14-0 to a team that's won 7 games in a row and is looking to make a lot of noise in the playoffs. This is what good teams do. The Warriors didn't bring their A game in that first half, and they got to find some type of way to bounce back.
Well, this Utah Jazz team is a championship contender. They showed us in the first half why. Now, we talked a little bit about playing defense without fouling, but you also have to contest, right? So the Utah Jazz got whatever they wanted offensively. They dominated that first half. They got to regroup and come out with some competitive fire in the second half.
Yeah, up 30 here in the second half. What is Kurt telling his team right now? You're down 30. You gave up 12 threes. Utah shooting 52% from the floor. What else can you do? Have some pride here in the second half to cut into this lead, to at least go home with a happy flight?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Sorry about that.
Right?
You definitely got to have some type of pride, and I know Mully can vouch for this. No coach wants to tell his team to bring energy and effort. That's the player's job to do. Go out there, bring energy and effort. So they got to do a better job in the second half, bringing that energy and effort.
Yeah, you got to find yourself, build some chemistry, build some confidence, because you got the Minnesota Timberwolves coming in here for back-to-back. So there's plenty of time. And just chip away and play the game the right way.
No doubt about it. We will tease a positive here. A positive coming up, Steph Curry. We'll talk about what he did in that first half. Reggie, he's about to say bye-bye to him and leave him in his dust. More coming up here on Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box.
Warriors Halftime Live is presented by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cluck Sandwich Combo with a new thicker filet for $5.99. Only at Jack in the Box. Or get it delivered.
Hot Jazz as they won 7 in a row. It should be a Western Conference dandy. Vontae Hill, the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, Darrell Wright, NBA champ with the Miami Heat, of course, former Warrior, and Mully. Draymond Green is back, and we know when he sees Rudy Gobert, he really raises his level of game up. And we saw him last time out, 8 assists in the first half, but he got ejected. He's got to stay in this one.
Terrible call by the official. The technical was rescinded. Draymond's back in the lineup. It's going to take a lot of focus tonight to get that win in Utah.
No doubt about it. They're red hot, but Darrell, history could be in the making here. Steph Curry, that's right. He's chasing Reggie. He's chasing Ray Allen. By the end of the night, he could be just looking up at Ray Allen. It's tonight, he becomes the number 2 three-point king here.
Vontae, I'm calling it. Tonight's the night. Tonight's the night, Mully.
You going out on a limb, D, right?
Yes, sir. I got him going out.
I say it's over in the first quarter.
They're going to need it. They're going to need a red-hot start from Steph Curry tonight against a tough Jazz team. But that man right there, Kelly Oubre Jr., looking to bounce back from a rough night against the New York Knicks. We'll talk about that. Monty Poole, Karis Berkman. Welcome back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business, and that man right there. We'll talk about him a little later in the show. He's having a hell of a season, averaging over 28 points a game, 6.1 assists and 5.5 rebounds. He has a chance to move up the leaderboard when it comes to three-pointers made. We'll talk about that later in the show as he tries to get the Warriors back on track here after a tough loss to the Knicks, snapped a 2-game winning streak, and they were trying to get their 3rd in a row. Of course, the Knicks, they win here, and they go up to Sacramento and lose, but we'll worry about the Knicks another time here, Mully. And look, the Warriors got to get back on track with the bench scoring. We know about the starting unit getting off to a slow start and letting the Knicks drop 40 in the first quarter. It was just a weird night at Chasing the Thursday.
They got to regroup, put that game behind them, get more disciplined on defense, play defense without fouling. That was really the biggest problem in the Knick game. And then obviously Draymond's ejection, which was a total missed call by the referee. So a lot of stuff to put behind you, and it's going to take a lot of focus tonight to get this win in Utah. It's a really tough place to play, Darrell.
And here it is, Darrell. Draymond Green getting ejected with 1:04 left in the first half. He had 8 first-half assists, was really playing well, and the Warriors were starting to come back and flip that basketball game. And an unfortunate incident for Draymond Green. The NBA has rescinded that flagrant foul, or that ejection in that flagrant. But come on, hey, you got to get the calls right here.
Yeah, you definitely got to get the calls right. This is the, this is the highest level of basketball, so you got to get those type of calls right. I thought them closing that lead to 2 points going into the half, that the Warriors had a great chance coming out in the second half with taking that game. And, Draymond being a big piece of this team, it really, took them out the game. And I think the key tonight is just playing without fouling, like Mully said, and also not letting the refs take you out the game. I know some calls didn't go their way, but they just got to keep playing through those. It's going to happen through the course of the game, but you just got to keep playing.
It's a good point. Maintain focus through adversity. It also shows you how important Draymond Green, we always talk about his defense and his communication on the defensive end, but offensively, his ability to play point forward, take Steph Curry off the ball, let Steph roam, set back screens, and do all the things he does off the basketball so they can't double team him. So Draymond, as important on defensive end as he is on the offensive end.
Great point, Willie, because the Warriors' offense it wasn't going on in the third quarter. They obviously had to bring in Nico Mannion and try to get Steph Curry off the ball, some open looks, and it didn't work out. Let's go inside the paint with our very own Monty Poole, Warriors insider here at NBC Sports Bay Area. Monty, good evening. This should be a good one out there in Salt Lake City between the Warriors and the Jazz, but it's about Draymond Green right now getting ejected and the NBA basically admitting that it was a mistake to throw him out. Just a weird situation, and it really cost the Warriors possibly the game, because I thought they would come back and win that game against the Knicks had Draymond been in the lineup in the second half.
Yeah, you must have paid attention to how they looked without Draymond. I mean, the second half, it was a mess. Offense was a mess. Defense was a mess. The thing is that Draymond, and I liken it to a job site where you have a foreman, and that's Draymond. You know, he's the guy that gets everybody else coordinated, set up, instructed in terms of what they have to do. He's the person who makes everybody better by getting them to their strengths. Okay, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. Finding each guy's strength, identifying it, and having that person work in that area. He makes Steph better. When you don't have Draymond out there, it's like the foreman went home at lunch and didn't come back. So you got a bunch of guys running around figuring out, okay, well, how do we do this now? Who's doing what? Who's doing what? How do I do this? It was chaos, and I thought that was the key to the game. I think the Warriors had a very good chance to come back to win the game. They had an awful first quarter. Second quarter, though, you started to see them come alive a little bit, and Draymond was a big part of that. So just his ability to orchestrate on offense and also to instruct on defense and just being that core guy, he was truly missed.
Hey, Monty, it's D right here. What do you think the Warriors' mindset will be tonight after Coach Kirk calling them out about fouling and, you know, complaining to the referees and things like that? What do you think they're going to come out? How do you think they're going to come out tonight?
Well, I think you expect to see some energy early in the game. Now, the question is going to be, how do they recover? Because of flight delays, they didn't leave the Bay Area until almost midnight last night. So they didn't get to Salt Lake City until sometime around 2. And they didn't have a shoot-around this morning. I'm sure that was a factor. So you look at those things and you wonder, okay, they've had most of the day to kind of just get together. They had meetings, of course. But you want to see early energy because Utah's really good this year. They're good on offense. They're good on defense. They're the best rebounding team in the league. I mean, they do so many things well to where you got to bring your best. So if the Warriors lay that egg the other night, and I say it's a half egg because the first quarter was bad and most of the second half was bad. But tonight, you need 4 quarters of really good basketball. They know that. And they know if they don't bring it, they're going to get blown out.
No doubt about that, Monty. Good stuff as always. Enjoy the ball game. And don't forget to check out Monty Poole's work at NBCSportsBayArea.com or the My Teams app. Make sure you download that app. One of the best apps out there in these streets here. We're talking about ejections, right? Because Draymond, we've seen him get ejected multiple times. How about this? Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin ejected way back when, March 10th, 1997 at the LA Sports Arena. Mullin, where you going with the basketball there? Hey, they need the ball to play, Bully. What's going on here?
First of all, D-Right.
You just walked off the floor with the ball? Are you kidding me?
If the restricted area was there, that would have been a block.
That's a block,
man.
for
That's
sure.
a terrible call. We know that. And I did the least of all evils at that point.
Well, check this out at the Garden. Here's at Madison Square Garden, St. John's, Georgetown. Bully ready to throw down with John Thompson in second. What's going on, Bully? Trying to throw down with JT.
Hey,
what's up, man?
buddy.
Look at, hold him back. Hold him back. What did you say? Oh, man, Bully, what did you say right there?
First of all, Draymond, I feel you, my brother. I feel you.
You made Draymond look like a saint.
I'm with you. The competitive fire, the competitive spirit. The first one, that was just a terrible charge call.
Right.
And when I went to the locker room, I was on my way. I was thinking about throwing the ball at somebody, kicking the ball in the stands, so I just took it to the locker room. The last one with Georgetown, Jordan Clarkson, guys who have started many games in the NBA. So they've got a a really good championship quality team.
Yeah, Bojan Bogdanovic, who wasn't there in the bubble. Let's hear from the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, not only about the Utah Jazz, but about getting in Salt Lake City at 2 a.m. Tough break for the Warriors.
Well, it's hard to tell given that we got in at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was a crazy day of travel yesterday with a lot of delays and no shoot around today. We had a brief meeting. This is just one of those strange games that happens every year on the schedule where everything goes wrong and your preparation is off and you have no idea what to expect.